Doodads, one dut. Girthy Football Edition, 2022 season recap.
Full throttle finale, some might call it.
You.
Season 2. Yeah.
You might call it that.
Me and you guys. Episode 90, Full Throttle Finale, brought to you by First Shield Defense. Self-defense. No, First Shield Defense is a proud supporter of us, 2D1D, and they want to give its listeners the opportunity to train at an awesome discount. Message FSD on Facebook, Instagram, or their website and mention that you are a 2D1D offspringer. You'll get 50% off your first 2 months of a membership. That's almost $200 in value. They will help develop a self-defense strategy that is natural to you. Reach out to First Shield Defense today, firstshieldefense.com.
As always, like you said, let them know you listen to us. Where do you listen to us on? You can probably catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Google, Amazon, and for your viewing pleasures, we are on YouTube. Hit the like, smash the subscribe, get the viewerships up.
Please and
We
thank you.
require your participation. You make the wheels go round.
Bless.
Skr makes the beats drop.
Oh.
Let's go.
Would beats have been a good B word?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Beats off.
BJ Khaled. Oh, beat
Blow
jabs.
I had that
Man.
on there, but I was going to say.
That's where you win the vote.
That's where you would have won. Babies and blowies. Hello.
Damn.
Hello. We are back, as you can see.
It's football time.
Yeah. Okay. So to get started, TCU Georgia nonsense is what I have it labeled. For those of you that watched the game, it was close for about the first half of the first quarter.
Yeah.
It was 10 to
I'll give you
7.
that.
It felt like it was going to be maybe a little back and forth.
Was it 10-7 or 17-7?
10-7 at one point?
10-7, and then he threw the wide open bomb to Lad McConkey.
Yeah. And
And then it just blew it up. Then you're like, okay, well, if you're not going to start playing defense,
Right.
the 25-year-old's going to rip you fucking apart.
But then it was
Yeah.
then it was like third and long, and they had pressure, and TCU had a post route that would have been wide open, but he didn't get to throw, and that's what turned out to be a pick.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
when I think I was like, okay, this one's probably a
Yeah.
wrap.
It was just a very bad beat if you were a TCU fan, bet or anything. But the good news is, like Dud always says, it gave you an opportunity to just completely shift,
pivot.
transition, hammer bets Georgia any way you saw it because it would have hit.
We're going live.
Yeah, arguably all of them. But speaking of the 25-year-old, I think he's 25 or maybe
He's 25.
he's probably 35.
October 29th, 97. I think that's what it was.
That's
I forget
insane.
what it was.
Either way,
Stetson Bennett the fourth.
Yeah.
So do you want to guess when he actually walked on to Georgia to begin his career?
2017.
Yes. Do you want to know what the top headlines were in 2017?
In 2017,
Yeah.
Donald Trump's.
I was going to say a presidential race.
Yep. So it was the controversy of Trump just being a president and tweeting nonsense. It has here the Women's March, the Harvey Weinstein allegations, the Me Too movement, Hurricanes Harvey, Irma, and Maria, the Russia investigation for the voting that Russia
17, tough year.
Yeah,
Right.
colluded on it. But again, it's just crazy to think like this was pre-COVID. This was like this dude's been there for a fucking minute.
5
Yeah.
years.
Top song in 2017? Any guesses?
Ooh, Drake.
No.
No.
Despacito.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's like
Hell yeah, dude.
it is one of those weird things when people
Shout
do
out
it.
to Biebs.
Yeah,
You know
like it puts age
And the
on
other
things.
guy. I don't know his name.
But you're just like, dude, you have fucking been here so long. And that's why I love when people are like, honestly, hats off to this guy. Just a walk on. I mean, now he's back-to-back national champion. I would hope so. You had an entire NFL career. Some would have like an 8-year college career.
He's also playing in a school that's going to get 5-star quarterbacks. So, like, that doesn't mean the same thing. Just because you're there, every year somebody's coming in that's potentially better than you.
But again, I would think the argument there is like Tim Tebow was arguably the greatest college quarterback of all time.
You fucking know it.
Correct.
And now he was absolute dirt.
Because he was one of the greatest high school prospects coming out.
Yeah.
Stetson Bennett the fourth was not that.
Yeah.
I just think he sucks, and I'm over it.
Yeah,
Georgia's
he's a
the new
two-time
Bama.
national champion.
But here's the thing about 5-star quarterbacks that's different than Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett got 5 years to learn an offense.
Yeah, like it's insane.
That 5-star is going to learn that offense, and then 3 years, he's probably going to be the #1 pick, i.e. Bryce Young.
Yeah, and that's
Now,
what
if you stay there, I would hope that Kirby Smart's just like, yeah, I need veteran leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look
I'm
what,
bringing
and
in
look
Dennis
what he
Quaid.
did by doing that. He leaves Georgia 2 years ago, or even after the national championship, doesn't get drafted. It just is.
Oh no, I'm not saying
it's just
like
a
I'm not.
dude.
He's there because he knows he's not playing at the next level.
Correct.
That's not my knock on him. My
It's
knock on
literally-
him
Now
is
he might get a look for some crazy reason.
Stetson Bennett.
He will make
the
a
fourth.
roster,
No.
Yeah.
or at least get a tryout.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a practice squad guy through and through. No, Stetson Bennett the fourth is Van Wilder. He does not want to let go. But now that he's a back-to-back national championship, allegedly, I mean, it's asterisk.
There's no allegedly.
it's not allegedly.
No,
he
it
did
is.
it.
Asterisk to
He did
hell.
it.
You can't be in college for 7 years. Like,
You
Why
can't
not?
even call doctors.
yeah, it's trash. It's just
Chris Winkie won a Heisman. He was 28.
get him out of
Bingo.
here. Like, that's fucking stupid, dude. Again,
There's no rules on college. You just
Yeah, he
assume that
played
you go
baseball
right
and
after
then
high school.
He played baseball and come back. You play football.
You got
dude.
4 years eligibility. You could do it at 40 if you wanted.
I
Yeah.
think it's trash. Like, I just like you said,
There's a dude
it's-
that played at Ball State. He was like 35.
Yeah.
But it's like at some point, like you were talking about it, you should just know the offense because you've been here for a fucking decade.
Yeah.
Like, thanks, Stetson.
Just because you know the offense, that doesn't mean you can run it and succeed at it.
I told you before this all started, like he literally looks like Mason Rudolph 2.0. Like I just want to punch him in the face now at this point.
He looks nothing like Mason Rudolph.
I'm
Not even
saying just
close.
the allure of it and like how it's all being projected now. Like I hate it.
Well, one's a
What was
two-time
the
national.
allure of
One's a
Mason
two-time
Rudolph?
national championship. One might have potentially played in a Big 12 championship game.
No, like
Those
how,
are-
Yeah,
No,
what was
that's-
Mason Rudolph?
no, how you just want to punch him in the face and Myles Garrett just smash him with a helmet. It's like I now want to do that to Stetson Bennett.
Oh,
I feel the same vibe now towards him. It's like I just ugh.
well, huge difference. Stetson Bennett, 2-time champion.
Boom.
I'm over Georgia.
They're not going away.
They're not going anywhere.
Oh,
bud.
I know. They showed their prospects and their
Yeah.
scouting and everything. It's disgusting. But
Yeah.
anyways, so for the actual NFL football season, let's do a little who won the season, who lost the season.
Chicago Bears lost.
Sir Dad picked Chicago to be the worst team in the NFL.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I would pick them to be the worst record and say they have number one pick.
Nice. Good
By
for
the
you.
percentage, I guess.
But I would.
By the numbers.
Boom.
Is it one of those where when you look
Frickin'
at
ties.
who won the
The
season,
worst.
who lost the season, it's like you almost think Denver is a runaway landslide victory of who lost the season. Everything coming into it.
Comparatively of what they should have been and like the high hopes.
Yeah.
Denver lost the season.
Because you want to go Rams right away, but again, like we've talked about the whole
Injuries,
time,
man. You
it's-
can't blame them.
Yeah, you can't
Can't
blame
blame them
that.
for the injuries.
It is what it is. But
It was bad.
Denver just, it's not that they even fell apart. They just never got off the ground. Like it was just brutal from the get go because didn't they lose to Seattle in the home opener?
Yeah.
By like 1 point or something? Yeah, the 60
Because
something
they-
yard field goal.
Yeah, because they didn't go for it on like 4th and 3.
Yeah.
Like we're
Yeah.
just gonna kick a ridiculous.
And it's like
long
if
field.
somebody would have said, that very first week one, like I would imagine every analyst was like, it's just, weird game. Like Denver will figure it out. Like it's the first time, Russ offense, whatever. And it's like, no, this is your whole season.
Yep.
Nobody would have believed it.
Yeah.
Insane. When you look at who won the season, I think in a weird way.
Hold on.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I think if you're Indy, you have an undercover sneaky. We had a terrible, terrible year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they bring in Matt Ryan with that offensive line. Granted, they didn't surround him with a lot of go routey type of wide receivers that can blow the top off of it. But if we go back 5 months and I'm like, hey, you guys are going to be 4-12-1, and your tie was going to be to Houston,
The
And
very
it-
first game.
and at some point Jeff Saturday is going to be your coach, they're going to be like, what the hell happened?
but in theory,
They'll probably be like, dude, Jeff Saturday's the coach. Tight.
so here's where it gets crazy and you do the yarn and you're tying stuff together. Technically, they beat the Chiefs, so they could be arguably the number 1 seed in the AFC.
No,
No.
They
that's
also
one
beat
random Sunday.
They also beat Trevor Lawrence's Jags, so technically they're a division winner.
They're not a division winner.
But you get what I'm saying. Like you do the thing where it's like, well, technically I beat you, so we're better than you, but you're the best team in the NFL, but you're the best team in the division, but we beat you. Morons here, and I just and it's not on the
I'm
map.
here.
And it's not on the map.
No, but you spent probably 12 out of the 18 weeks talking about Indy being the worst team in the league.
Oh, I know. I
Yeah.
just think it's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, it's not funny. I'm just saying when we go through it, I think Denver's the obvious choice. But if you take a step back, you're like, there may be 2 or 3 teams that could compete
Yeah.
for this.
Yes. So
What I thought was going to happen and what actually happened.
and so Dutt and I were talking about it a little bit last night. Shout out B-Dubs.
I thought the Colts are going to win the division.
think of it in this way.
Jags.
The Bears have the number 1 overall pick. Locked it down. Then it goes Houston, Arizona, Indy. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think you could argue 1 and 3, that being Chicago and Arizona, are probably not going quarterback if you had to be a betting man.
Who's not going quarterback?
Chicago and Arizona. I think Kyler, with all the uncertainties and weirdness, he just paid him. So it is what it is.
You're getting rid of
Cliff. Yeah. Again, barring some crazy trade or something, I do think it's one of those where Chicago's sitting in the perfect position to bait, switch, and hook anybody to be like, you want this number 1 spot? You want to control your destiny? You're going to fucking pay us. It's going to be your first this year, your first next year, and a second.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be something spicy. And I think Indy's dumb enough to do it. And not only do it, I think they're going Will Levis.
They won't take him number 1 overall, but I also said nobody's taking Baker number 1 overall.
Yeah,
So
but I also think, too, for that haul, though,
it just reeks of it.
You're not getting that. I don't think you're getting that big of a jump going from 4 to 1. Because I think when the Eagles traded up to get Carson, it was like, I think 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
And that was like 9 spots. Like, it was something crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's going to be a first and a second, or like a first and
I
a
think
first
it
next
still
year.
might be 2 first, but people are like, oh, they're going to get 3 or 4 first-round picks.
No.
It's like,
No.
unless you're
we'll
coming
just swap. We'll swap those.
Yeah.
Correct.
Because then I think the other thing that
Yeah, like, would you take, you go to 4, Indy gets to 1, you get Indy's pick next year and a second.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
all day.
100%.
Because we talked about it. No matter, there's people out there that are still kind of torn on, like, is Justin Fields, quote unquote, the guy? The guy definition is very fluid depending on the franchise. But I think you found somebody where, as long as he can consistently throw the ball and get better in that area, he's giving you the legs all day. Like, he is a threat.
Well, then let me ask you this then, as a Bears fan. If Indianapolis calls and they're saying, we're going to give you 2 first-round picks for Justin Fields, do you do it?
No.
And then you just draft C.J. Stroud?
No.
Because now that you have another 2 extra years on a rookie contract. Because you're already at Justin Fields' 3rd year.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing with rookies now. Like, the greatest thing you can have as an NFL team is a rookie quarterback contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
you're
like
getting to the tail end of that.
From what I see, like, if anything, I would take Bryce Young over CJ Stroud. I think Bryce Young
Or
is
whoever.
better.
Whatever
Yeah.
quarterback you want. So instead of
And
everybody
that's the thing.
assumes
you
you're going to trade down for the picks, once if somebody just offers you picks for Justin Fields.
Yeah. So if it's like 2 firsts, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I would need like
A player,
some
something.
players. Yeah.
Yeah.
To get with it.
And
But
I think-
and then that's the thing, man, because it's like Justin Fields running quarterback. How long is he
That's
gonna
the
take?
thing.
Like,
Like,
it's
are
gonna
you
take a couple. It's
sold?
gonna take a year or 2 to maybe build an offensive line for him. Your
But where-
defense is still absolute trash bananas. So can we do things with those picks? Yeah.
And I also think too, he's like I know this is gonna come off like in a weird way, but like I think he's probably grade wise like a C as a running quarterback in terms of he doesn't avoid hits.
Yeah.
He induces contact.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Like he has to be taught to slide,
100%.
get out of bounds, but he's not built that way.
But
You're
I
not
also,
going to last long that
Yeah.
way.
But that's also one of those weird things too, where like I don't know why Josh Allen doesn't get like really harped on it a lot. Like,
Because he's just ginormous.
yeah,
But he
But
doesn't.
and eventually it's going to be like, hey, man, you're big like Big Ben, and you're just going to be playing through
Right.
injuries all the time.
Yeah.
It's
and
gonna be
he's doing
terrible.
that once a game, where Fields is doing it 5 times a game.
Yeah.
yeah. But I think he's just. I mean, he gives you that uniqueness where it's like, go get it, man.
Yeah.
Like it's what we need, like for better or worse. Because
I mean, it's what we need right now. In
Yeah.
theory, you
can't
hope
win
to
that
not
way.
do that. In
Yeah.
theory, you hope to not have to do that.
Right.
Justin Fields,
But it's good to have it there
yeah.
when you're scrambling and it's like 3rd and 7 and you need it to keep the game going, or
Yeah.
you lose and then you convert that one, but you run out of bounds.
The
You don't get
argument-
fucking head on with the safety and take them on. You just sprint out and you get your 7 yards, then you're good.
Yeah.
Keep the chains going.
Because my argument would be C.J. Stroud is essentially Justin Fields with a better arm. Like he does. He is what
He can't
they-
run.
He's what they hope Chicago.
No, CJ Stroud doesn't run for anything.
Yeah, CJ Stroud can't run.
I mean, it's emergency protocol. Don't get me wrong.
No, like he can't run.
It's like Dwayne
He's slow.
Haskins. It's bad.
Yeah, but he
He's
also
slow.
has a rocket of an arm. So it's like that's kind of what you
Who
want.
doesn't have a rocket of an arm these
Right.
days?
No, it's
Yeah.
it's. I'm not comparing CJ Stroud to Jared Goff, but as a Lions fan, it's the same thing. Like when he has time to throw the ball, he's going to put it on the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the play breaks down, though, it's done. Like there's no plan B.
But you almost I don't want to say you respect it because, again, Peyton Manning, for better or worse, greatest regular season quarterback of all time, he just knew when a play fell apart, he just goes down. He would literally just, he'd feedle it and he'd go next play.
Well, and that's when you knew, like, if the
Because
defense
he broke his jaw.
Yeah,
He
and
got
like
absolutely
if the
cooked by
defense
James
stepped
Harrison.
up,
Yeah.
you knew the play was over. Like there's no Lamar, Kyler, like, oh, what's gonna happen? The play's over.
High risk, high reward. They called it. It was like the greatest like description of it, in my opinion. PFT described Josh Allen when he was like on his come up, and he called it the fuck, nice.
Yeah.
Like it was like you're now going from this crazy just high risk, high reward versus. Again, Manning's just going to cop out next play.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't want to risk it. He doesn't want to roll the dice, and you almost kind of respect it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he knows that he's going to be like, yeah, you got me.
Yeah.
Guess what? I'm going to get to 12 times out of 10.
Well, here's my thing, because I think everybody's circling like Indy for that quarterback-ish spot because, again, Denver has Russ. I don't think the Lions are going to take a quarterback at 6. Who knows what the Raiders are going to do.
I've seen some TikToks about like the Jets. And they're like, if we give you our first this year, our first next year, and Quentin Williams for Justin Fields,
Right.
do you do it? And then you just draft Bryce Young.
100% you do that.
And you get the 13th
and you
overall
don't
pick.
bat an eye at it and say, sorry, Justin.
I don't know.
It's crazy.
But no, I'm saying, like, if you're Indy, everybody assumes that, like, oh, you have to trade up with Chicago.
Yeah.
Yes, Houston is going to take a quarterback. Arizona's not.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
So, like, if you grade C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young at about the same tier,
you're getting one or the other.
right?
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just call Chicago's bluff and be like, you guys aren't drafting anybody.
Yeah.
I will let Houston draft whatever one they want.
And I get the other.
Arizona's going to take, somebody. And, like, I get it. You always have to worry about somebody trading up to get it. It's like you have to beat the other guy.
Yeah.
But everybody just assumes people are going to offer Chicago the fucking
Farm.
war chest for this.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
Chicago might just have to draft Will Anderson and be done with it.
Yeah.
Hats off.
Yeah.
Number 1 pick. I mean, I think the thing.
That's who
again,
I would draft.
Right. You have to.
Will Levis is going to sneak in there, and it's going to be the one person that, ripple affects the draft, or at least the first round, and it just is stamped on Indy's face to do it. Like, it's just disgusting. That being said, I think it's also stamped on their face to just do some bonehead trade of getting Derek Carr. Like, that doesn't. You're basically doing the.
So what do you say they take like the number 1 offensive lineman and draft Derek and like trade for Derek Carr?
Then it would make sense to me because
Huge win.
Yeah, at least at this point, your bridge ideology, it has more than 1 year to it, and in theory should be a really good quarterback. Like why Josh McDaniels hates Derek Carr, I'll never understand, because I think Derek Carr is actually a really good quarterback.
Yeah.
He's just never been dealt a good hand.
He's never had like a better than like top 22 defense ever. Like overall.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
And like
but
this year they're 32nd.
And I'm not going to make this comparison right now, but again, I think Stafford was viewed the same way. Like he had this generational talent in Megatron. He had horrible defenses.
Yeah.
He had 1 top 10 defense his entire career at Detroit. They made the playoffs that year.
yeah,
And he goes to a team that's good. Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Not saying Derek Carr's going to do that if he goes to Indy, but yeah, he's going to go to a team that's like, oh, this is what this is like? This is weird.
but so then here's the thing that I maybe find a slight 1B to the, again, I think Indy's going to do just something dumber than fuck. But at 5 and 6, Seattle and then Detroit.
Yeah.
I think there is an opportunity for some fun tomfoolery. Geno Smith just breaks the single season record in Seattle for passing yards, which is kind of nuts. Had a comeback player of the year type season. Do they
Draft Will Levis.
do something? Yeah, take one of those 3 guys.
Yes.
Does Detroit?
I could see him getting like a defensive player. Like Pete Carroll's just trying to rebuild the Legend of Boom.
Yeah.
Legion of Boom.
But then you have 6 and 18. Do you guys not just parlay those into moving up to maybe try and get Bryce Young or CJ Stroud? Because I honestly think either of those 2 guys for what what Detroit has now, you have 5 years of fucking awesomeness ahead of you. In theory, if they pan out the way they should.
No, I only because I don't love those quarterbacks enough.
You should.
I think Bryce Young is undersized, and,
Yeah.
and when he's at the combine, it's really going to come out when he measures really small.
CJ, though.
And I don't think he has no mobility whatsoever. He's a pocket passer, absolutely, and the Lions have a really good offensive line, but that is Jared Goff. Like, why are you drafting a quarterback if that's who you're going to get?
Because it's 5 years on a rookie deal, and you can have a half of a decade of just awesomeness, like I just said.
No, I would try to trade the 6th pick down. Ideally, you want Stroud or Young to still be on the board when you're drafting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So somebody gives you.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
Because I would prefer to build a war chest up for potentially next year.
Yeah.
And give me 2 or 3 first-round picks to throw at somebody so I could have a chance at Williams.
So then.
And just be like, let's do this.
So full circle with it. Who won the season? I do think Detroit won it. Like, I think they are just sky's the limit. Everybody's going to talk about them. Like, hopefully we were the ones that were like.
I think San Francisco won it.
On it early. Well, no, and I think San Francisco too, where it's like. It's weird to me to think, because again, it's the perspective, it's the optics of it. If I'm San Francisco, I don't give a fuck about Trey Lance, respectfully.
Buddy, Trey Lance is going to come back.
You
he's
have
gonna
to
be,
because what you gave up
he's
for
going
him.
to be the fucking guy next
I would
year.
do the thing where they did with
And
Josh
now, if
Rosen.
he's injury prone, then that sucks. But I think Debo,
think
Christian in that backfield, it's going to be nasty.
you haven't seen anything. That's
Oh,
my
no.
point.
What you need is you need to sell him as high as you
possible.
can.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so you get him back, sell him. Brock Purdy's your guy. He's been built on team humbleness, and like we don't need to pay you. Like I'm not saying he's going to be this new like breakaway like pioneer of, hey, we're going to give you 15 to 20 million. We're not going to give you 45, but we want you here. Like, we're letting it be known. It's not just to shit on you, but it's like, we got a good team chemistry here. It's like New England all over again when Tom just kept taking pay cuts, but it's like.
San Francisco wins 3 straight games and wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy has yet to lose a game in his entire career. Is Lance your starter week 1?
Yes.
Ooh, good for you.
Yes.
Do you trade Brock Purdy, or are you just like, hey, man,
No,
ride
you
the
keep
pine?
him, dude. Because I'm gonna trade Jimmy G, and I keep Brock Purdy because now I got him. I know I got my guy. I know he can win games. I know he knows the offense. But I'm running with the sky's the limit guy.
How many games do you give Lance before you put Purdy back in? If you're bringing back the same roster, if you're 2-4,
2-4.
Oof. That's what I'm saying. I just think it's you kiss
I think
it.
that's
I'm gonna keep going. I'd keep going.
I think that's a tough locker room. If you go into next year, my guy's 7 or 8-0, Super Bowl champion, and you're like,
see ya, sit.
nope, we need this number 3 pick to come in here.
Yeah. I think so. Another who won the season, it's Matthew Berry. I know we don't talk about it a lot, but I mean, when I say died on a hill, I didn't realize it till I was looking back with the tweets, the preseason favoritism and everything. He was sucking Jalen Hurts' dick more than anybody ever in social media.
Yeah.
What a pick.
He'd probably rephrase it a little bit, but it's all right.
No, you get it metaphorically. But yeah, like hats off. Won the season. That being said, so to move on to the next little topic, Russ beat the toilets.
Nailed it.
Got to talk about it. You want to know what he ended at?
There was never a doubt.
Well,
15,
16-12.
16-12,
Yeah.
baby.
That's.
You love to see it. Everybody loves a good comeback story,
You
dude.
know it.
Does he buy a bigger house out of principle and just get
Have
16
to.
toilets so he can like keep pushing the
Has to.
sticks? Yeah,
Push it.
Yeah, you got to move it. It's interesting. Then I have.
Dude, conspiracy theory.
What?
Russ through the season. He's getting Sean Payton next year.
I'm more.
No,
Yeah.
you don't go there.
You don't think so?
It's a dumpster.
Yeah.
What?
I'm more surprised. Yeah, the Cliff firing was weird to me because it was like him and Kyler was supposed to be the marriage, but then like it started coming out when the season was beginning to fall apart that Cliff like basically stalked him type stuff where it was like, no, we were never friends. He just loved me. Like loved me.
You wait till the Cowboys lose 35-10 to Tampa,
And you go to Dallas.
and Sean Payton goes to Dallas.
McCarthy's on borrowed time. He has been since the start.
Yeah.
Like you lost in week 1 to Tampa and everybody's like, what did we do? This is dumb. Yeah. I don't get it. Patrick Mahomes.
He's good.
Is he over the hill?
Over the hill?
What does that even mean, dude?
It's obviously sarcasm. He's the oldest quarterback in the AFC playoffs right now.
Is he?
Oh,
Kind
yes,
of
he
crazy.
is, yeah.
Kind of crazy at 27.
Love to see it.
So it's funny how he phrased it because obviously
Seth Bennett be right in there, right behind him.
older than him.
More national championships.
But it's crazy to think
What?
that they talk about how it's going to be Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Herbert. Like the AFC is just going to be Lamar.
You're
Trevor?
Oh, Trevor.
Hello, Trevor, your
son
name.
of a bitch.
Yeah, but Trevor.
Lamar? Tua if he comes back? Who knows?
But yeah, like it's just
Kenny.
You think we're in this weird like limbo purgatory of like, oh, there's no Tom, there's no Peyton, there's no Big Ben, and it's like, what are we gonna do? Like you.
Well, there is Tom.
Well, there is.
No, I know, but he's in the NFC. But what I'm saying is, you grow up just knowing these names for so long, and you're like, it's gonna be those weird times where like, what's it gonna be? And it's like, no, we have the guys.
They're here.
Yeah, they're here. They're not going anywhere. Barring
They've always been here.
a horrific injury. Like this is the new era of football in the AFC. Like it's kind of crazy. Then if you had to hand out awards for the season, who would you give them to? Personally, just in general. So like for me, I was trying to think of like unique ones on the fly where I'm like the award for I'm not sure why everybody stopped talking about me, but I'm still the fucking GOAT. Patrick Mahomes. He potentially is going to break the single season passing, or maybe he did.
He didn't. He had to throw for like 400.
Yeah.
So either way, like I talked about, he was on pace to have his best year ever or very close to it in terms of like passing touchdowns. Nobody talked about him.
Is that true though?
Yes. I don't think anybody ever
I feel
gave
like
him.
when we downplay people, if it's not onto the scale of like you're the best ever, it's we don't talk about you anymore. Like there's room.
Well, I don't think
between there.
anybody was really. Honestly, I do agree with you. Nobody was really talking about unless it's Nick Wright. Unless it's Nick Wright, he's talking about you.
Yeah.
But like everybody else is just like, well, I'm not talking about it because it's like, what is there? What am I going to say that I didn't say
Square pick.
before?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, he's there.
Yeah.
So you want to go to the stories. Yeah, it's like I feel like the sports analysis, they need the stories. Like you got to get the story out there. It's all about the clickbait and what people are going to go with.
Yeah.
What's the most shocking thing I can say on TV right now?
Yes.
That people are going to give me views.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you can say, "Oh, shocker, Patrick Mahomes is good." Everybody's like, "Yeah, no shit, Sherlock."
Yeah. And
But then you go, "Oh, okay. Well, how about fucking, Justin Herbert's not good and Tua's better. Why aren't you talking about Tua?"
and then you just
And then
start
it's like,
psychoanalyzing it just down to the fucking very last detail, and you just want to shoot yourself. So then the other award I was thinking of, I was trying to figure out one for Devontae Adams. So I think it's one of those where
I'm the best wide receiver in football award
like I think you
because
could.
that's what he gets.
Well, I think you could argue
Bear J. Jetta?
Yes.
Okay.
with what happened and everything that was just going on, and
Man, dude.
in Las Vegas, it's like, like if you just get an organization to get Rodgers or Brady, somebody in here where they will firmly believe in him and get an offense going, you've proven that with just pure drama, you're putting up guy numbers. Like you're the dude. So I was like, that's pretty impressive. But I think now that the full season's over, could you imagine if he was still on Green Bay? I bet Green Bay goes again.
Well, here's the better question: if he's on Green Bay, is the season different for them?
100%.
I imagine them being a 12-5, 13-4 team like they usually are.
I bet you they still lose the first game to the Vikings.
Yeah, but then it's
like you're not losing the shit games.
the weird ones.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man,
They still lose to the Lions twice.
who knows?
Did they lose twice?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
they're so good.
This one.
you're probably not losing that last game. I'll tell you that in Green Bay.
Oh no! So last one, because I did think this was actually a good debate that people are bringing up. If you had to give Coach of the Year, who do you give it to? I think this is maybe one of the best years in football where you could make an argument for like 5 guys.
Yeah.
No burgers, no fries. Like, do you give it to Pete Carroll for just basically taking a thrown away Geno Smith, for dusting him off, making him the single season Seahawks passing guy?
Well, and it's not even that. Like they were supposed to win like 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
No, and I get that, but I'm saying it's not only did he bring him back from the abyss, it's like he just performed well, arguably best your franchise has ever seen,
Yeah.
and that's with Russell Wilson, who has a Super Bowl from there. So there's that.
It's probably Daboll.
You go there, but then I also think you could easily still make a case for Dan Campbell
Oh, easily.
for a team to be 1-6, 1-7, and then to finish the way you did, where people are talking about you guys are world beaters. Like people should be, for the most part in the NFC, very happy that they didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, I think the NFL is pretty bummed out that the Steelers and Lions are not in the playoffs.
Yeah.
From just a ratings and just a story standpoint. And then you have Mike Tomlin, who coached them from just out from God knows what. I mean, they were in our bottom 3 the majority of the season, and he finishes with a winning record.
Because that's what he does, dude.
Nobody saw that coming.
Everybody's seen it coming.
And what I hate more than
It's
anything
a square pick.
is
Is
I
Mike
feel-
Tomlin's going to finish above 500? Oh, has he never done that before? No, he does it every year.
But
yeah, he's probably going to do it.
Literally.
But is it just me, or does it feel like always it's the team that surprises you with like the most wins? So the Eagles, it's like they always just want to anoint that coach as Coach of the Year because you just came out of nowhere and you got all these wins. And it's like, this is where especially an award should really hold a lot of value in a lot of other places, like intangible stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it doesn't.
Well, I mean, this same things that you're saying about Geno Smith. I mean, Nick Sirianni just took Jalen Hurts and made him an MVP.
I get it, but it's like also it's just one of those where the team's just built to be a juggernaut. You would think.
Yeah.
So it's like,
And so everybody was like, "Oh, this team's gonna win the East." Guess what? Toughest division.
Yeah.
They did it. Sorry for doing my job and being the best team in the NFL. Sorry for doing my job.
Well, I think it goes back to us arguing the top threes all the time, where it's like, I need to see adversity. Show me Doug Peterson, who takes Trevor Lawrence and fucking rides them off into the sunset with a division champion.
It's the reason why I think like Bill Belichick has one coach of the year.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, no, like you're gonna win 12 games. You're gonna win 10 games. Like, sorry, I can't give it to you.
I guess.
Even though it's like,
But you got to give them the one. You got to give them the
at
first
some
one.
point you have
Yeah.
to get one.
Yeah.
So
But
you're
before we get too far,
okay.
Justin Jefferson, number 1 rated wide receiver, 128 receptions. Devontae Adams, 1, 2, 3,
100.
4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, has even 100. 8th. Yards, Justin Jefferson, 1809.
Devontae Adams had like 1,500.
15-16.
Yeah.
TDs, Justin Jefferson, 8.
He had
Devontae
12
Adams,
or 14.
14. 40-plus yards, Justin Jefferson, 6. Devontae Adams, 7. 20-plus yard catches, 28 for JJ, 24. So I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
he's so good. And
I'm
again,
not saying he's not.
No,
I'm not saying he's
no,
not.
I get that. But there was weird games where like Justin Jefferson just goes away.
He does.
You're just like,
And
oh,
it was
you went
fucking
from
2 weeks ago.
you
Yeah.
went from 180 and then you go 2 receptions for 40 yards. Like
Yeah.
Devontae Adams just didn't have those games. He might have half that,
He
Oh,
had
yeah.
one game where he's just absolute dog shit.
but it's just
Yeah.
weird where you're
it
just
was like him,
Yeah.
Hopkins, and I think Jake Jetta all were
All
just
just sucked. Yeah.
dog shit. Like had one catch for 4 yards.
Fantasy
And you're
playoffs.
like, are you nuts right now?
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I guess what coach would you give the award to? Gun to your head.
Nick Sirianni, dude.
Okay. Who do you give it to, Scare?
It's either him or the Giants Coles Diebold.
I'd probably give it to Dable.
I think it's
Everybody
between-
hated Daniel Jones. They have absolutely 0 wide receivers. They're, like you said, arguably in the best division in football. You make the playoffs.
I like it.
Nobody's seen it coming.
No.
Case being built.
Except for this guy.
Where they start like 6 and 0.
5-0, something like that. Yeah.
So then we do the classic, like, what we got right and what we got wrong, or I put what we totally fucked up. So I will be the first to admit, totally fucked up. A.J. Brown. I'm so sorry. Really good at football.
He is him, dude.
Yeah.
He is him.
Really good. But I do love that I was right. I would like to think on more things than I was wrong, where Carolina never understood your passion or anything behind it. Terrible. Just the unraveling of it all. Baker ending up in L.A.
1 game away from making the playoffs.
Yeah. In a division where it's the asterisk is across the board on all the teams. And then it was the Denver. Like, I sniffed it out from the beginning. I'm going to die on that all day. Like, I'll probably talk about that for the next 2 or 3 years.
Sure.
Makes no
Okay.
sense. Yeah.
You got it.
So,
That's why we do this.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can hide from the things you got wrong, and you can yell from the mountaintops the ones you got right.
And I want to say Indy. I feel like I was pretty spot on with Indy, too. And maybe Carson Wentz.
No way, dude.
He ended because I remember vaguely that before he got hurt, he was on like 6.5 or like 5.5, I think, for his rating. To my knowledge, his last game was under 225 passing yards and 3 interceptions. So he ended the year with like a 4.5
Okay.
out of 10. Like, again, he's not the guy.
What about the one where he came in and Tyler Heineke and he threw for a touchdown and 125 yards but no interceptions?
It doesn't matter.
He gets a point. He gets a half point for a touchdown.
So he's a 4.5 or a 5 out of 10.
5 even. Cool.
Carson Wentz,
Even
baby.
quarterback.
Yeah,
Even,
it's
dude.
just
Right,
the
right,
scale. We're on
right
the
where he
scale.
started.
On the
Right
scale.
where he started.
Well, so then, speaking of the hindsight talk and everything, what do we like about next year? What are going to be what's your like?
Well, hold on
Okay.
before we get there.
I gotta go through what we.
I will,
what I was
I
wrong
will
about.
own,
Okay.
and again, some of this injury, some of it's not. I said the Rams would go back to the Super Bowl.
Oof.
That didn't happen.
Tragic pick.
Did
Did we pick Chiefs Bucks?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't.
You didn't.
I picked Chiefs.
I took Rams Chargers.
Maybe I
I
picked
thought you took the Bills.
Bills.
Watch out for the Chargers.
I picked Bills. No, I didn't do Eagles.
I said Cincinnati was overrated.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
a bad one.
I own it.
He
No,
owns it, dude.
I'm just
And again,
like,
through
I'm just-
6 weeks, it looked like that was what's going to be the thing.
which it's crazy to me.
And then they
that-
just ran off, and it's like they've won 8 straight. So it's not like they were off to a start where I was like, this guy.
but
yeah.
I was literally talking to my cousin. He was like, dude, I got to shout you out, man. You said like they were going to be bad, and they aren't. And like literally after that phone call,
8-0.
they won it. They just ran all these
Travis
off.
Kelce can't score touchdowns. No, but it's is it one of those where if you look it up, I think last year was the exact same thing. Mediocre start, and then they just got it together and just went on a run.
No,
But they weren't blowing people out like they
Correct.
are. They
Like-
were like getting the close wins.
Yeah, I don't think they were 12.
They were
and whatever
eking out the
going into
wins.
Yeah.
You know what I
playoffs,
mean?
yes.
Okay.
They were eking out they were getting the wins,
Yeah,
but it
they
was
were
like
in,
very
they were in a
close.
ton of one-score games. That's what I was like. This offensive line is still not great.
Yeah.
They
That's when Evan
they
McPherson was
upgraded
like, I'm
into
the
the
greatest kicker of all
offseason.
time.
Right, it was not
Sorry,
great.
you're not. Karma.
I took another. I said Carolina was going to win the division.
Yep.
That didn't happen. Thanks, Baker. You cheated me 2 levels. You could have
I know there's one really good one that you have, obviously.
sent the Lions.
It's waiting.
In terms of like what, bad or good?
Good.
Oh yeah, I have a few.
Excuse
I'm,
me.
I'm just gonna say. I said Cleveland would be at the bottom of the AFC North. They are.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
I said the Jags would win the AFC South.
Yep.
They did. I said the Lions would win 10 games. God, I was close.
All
But
I
that
needed
was
was
us.
9. All I needed was 9, baby.
I know. But yeah, I mean, I didn't make too many crazy picks. It was that, but again, I don't hate it. And not to talk, I don't know how the structure of the draft is going to be, but I do think whoever wins the Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert is going to go to the AFC Championship game.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you better hope it's the Herbs. You
I
got
mean,
him in
I
the Super
took
Bowl.
him to it, but I don't. It's going to be one of those games. It was I think the third week of the year where Buffalo played Kansas City, and I was legitimately not knowing who I was rooting for.
Yeah, you said it.
Yeah.
I was halfway through the game, and I'm like, what do I want to happen?
I just needed points, baby.
And that's what it's going to be watching that game. Those are my guys.
Yeah.
I have been on their heels from day one. I'm like, I don't know what I want to happen.
You're just you gotta sew the jerseys together and just be one of those parents.
Oh, you do, yeah. Because if Trevor wins, he did more with less. So that's the story.
Unless
I
Mike
don't
Williams
know,
doesn't
dude.
play.
Well, I say if Herbert does it, then it's like
Herbert half the year did it with less.
Well, no, that's what I was gonna say. So then the story is like, man, you got healthy at the right time. Like, look at this team now that it's
Yeah.
in full force. But yeah, if Trevor does it, it's like he's just Superman. Like he's doing it on his own. Like he's Andrew Lucking it in a sense where it's like you don't exactly have the greatest people around you.
I mean, yeah, Pro Bowl wide receiver, they signed him. Christian Kirk.
But your quarterback play is the key reason to why you are where you're at.
Yeah, it's for any good team.
Great
You could
team.
argue he's making a step towards an MVP.
In 3 years.
Yeah. Anyways,
Next year, baby.
Next year, MVP.
right and wrong, Debt. What'd you get?
I said the Bears were not going to be the worst team, and statistically, by the numbers,
They're
because
not.
Houston tied with the Colts, they are the worst
Oh,
team.
sorry. That's okay.
Isn't it crazy that they were fairly exciting and they lost 10 in a row?
Yeah. Yeah. It was like, and they lost them like in the only fashion that like bad teams lose games.
Yeah.
And that's how bad teams lose games.
100%.
You don't button it up. You got to button it up. And
So
it's just
sorry.
like the crazy like mistakes that get you at the end.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Still love them though. 118 million in cap space, #1 overall pick. Bring us the offers. We're taking everything.
You should be excited, as
Yeah.
weird as it sounds.
100%.
Because again, as a
I
Lions,
am.
as a Lions fan, like I've ended a lot of years with a really bad record. And it's like, okay, who are we gonna draft? And like that's really it.
Oh.
But you've got free agency, you've got picks, like you've got a really good quarterback in place potentially.
potentially. Like we got time. Like we got some things. It's
So-
brewing. So now, like I knew this was going to be an off rebuilding, and that's why I was like, I'm just heckling Indy.
Yeah.
This is going to be an all Indy slaughter because I know the Bears are going to suck.
From the
So I was
3
correct
games,
about that.
The 3 games you guys put together to start the season to where you're at now, like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And again, they beat
And
San
Nick-
Francisco in a
and the
monsoon.
crazy thing
like,
about
that
it
shouldn't
is-
even have been a win.
The crazy thing about it from those first 3 games to the last, you're like, Justin Fields got 1 million times better.
Yes.
You're losing all of the games.
Yeah.
You go 2-1, Justin Fields gets 1 million times better. You lose all those games.
Hell yeah.
It's crazy.
They're,
It's nuts.
what are they called? They're beneficial losses. It was a good
Yeah.
loss.
It's
Yeah.
a good loss.
Good
It's
10
a good
losses.
loss. It's a good. It's good 10 losses. I did ride the Lions train. I was on the Hard Knocks. I'm like, I don't know, dude. Hard Knocks is giving me goosebumps about the Lions, even though I hate their guts. But
In a different way that Hard Knocks
Yeah.
usually does it, and then they
it's
just
like the
fucking-
scrappy team, dude. You're just rooting for them. The little Giants.
Yeah, it's good.
Not
Yeah.
anymore.
No, so brief little segue. I don't know what team I want to root for, and I think I finally figured it out. So I'm not gonna join any new team. I'm not gonna. So,
this is like you're not just for like the Super Bowl. This is
Yeah.
your personal fandom.
Hello.
so I thought
Big
about-
announcement coming.
but I thought about it, and I was like, I've always been Ohio native to everything, and so like the Cleveland Cavs, like was it LeBron being there? Was it Ohio? Was it a combination of all the above?
Is
Sure.
it Hawthorne Heights?
That too. Heart's always been
Lincoln
there.
Heights.
Yeah, but it's like I love the Cavs. Like I think it'll be a fun team to watch no matter what. And like, is it awesome that they lucked out, got Donovan Mitchell, and I think they're arguably playing some of the best.
Evan Mobley.
Well, some of the best team
Jared Allen.
basketball. And I love when the NBA becomes like a league with more teams than just superstars. Like I'm glad we're away from the 2 or 3 super team people on a super team. Like it's becoming where the competitive teams, there's the one-offs of the 2 pairings, but it's like that's the past now. It's not really a thing anymore. Ohio State has just always been a fan favorite, like from the crazy.
This whole thing is just you going back to the Bengals. I'm gonna fucking fight you.
No, it's not. So it's all that to say, basically. Like I think I realized because I only rooted for the Bengals for like
Going to Minnesota.
5 or 6 years.
He's sticking with the Browns.
And it was like the Andy Dalton stint, basically, and then just again saying like, if you don't nail this draft because everybody on Alabama's defense is just world beaters, and you take fucking John Ross III, who runs a 3.9, I hate you. Shout out to TCU. I didn't realize he was on the Horned Frogs.
Yep.
But I don't have a team. Like I think I realized that's what it
Are you a free agent?
Yeah, but it's like in a way where I'm like I like rooting for certain players, which I hate it deep down in my loins because it's like you're the guy that's like I just want a good game. Like the ref guy. Like I like
Hold
the
on.
refs.
So did you take like 90 seconds just to tell everybody that you have not picked a team?
Correct.
You
I'm gonna. Hey, everybody! I'm getting ready to tell you my team. Psych! There's no team. That's
Unreal.
classic Travis,
That's a
dude.
plot
It's
twist.
fucking nuts.
But I'm like I just
Move on.
I know,
God.
but it's weird, right? Where I'm like I love sports, but I don't love a team because I guess my one thing I had like as a talking point was how weird is it?
Rock City.
No, that Cleveland is like sneaky a 2.0 version of Florida with Urban Meyer, Tim Tebow, Riley Cooper, and Aaron Hernandez. Like, there's just a lot of fucked up shit there.
Don't forget the Pouncey twins.
Percy Harvin.
Yeah, and you're just like,
There's a Netflix special coming.
it's just
It's gonna be
gross.
good.
It is.
Yeah, and
John
like,
Berthal.
yeah, and I'm just like, I don't know, like. Cleveland was never going to be that team, and I get that, and that's like you ride or die for your team. But I never was going to ride or die for Cincy
No, you're not.
or them, and I think that's
That's why you're not allowed to join the Bears, dude.
yeah.
Because you're not a ride or die.
But it's been not that I didn't want to ride or die. It's like I wanted to ride or die for something for the cause, but there was nothing pulled me to it.
That's the definition of ride or die.
Yeah.
You're there when things don't make any sense.
But they never made sense to me to begin with. I just tried to give it a purpose, and it never worked.
Buddy, you're just bred into it. It's the first team you see when you're a fucking baby, and you see the emblem, and you're like, that's my team. So you should have just been a Bengals fan.
But
that
I-
was your first
Yeah,
instinct.
when you
Stick
switched to
with
the
it.
Browns, once it started veering, you're like, this doesn't feel right. You should
No,
have just went back to Cincy. Be like, you know what? I made a mistake. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't want to do it because obviously they're really good, and they're probably going to be really good for a long time. And the jinx in me, the degenerate, doesn't want to put that on Joe Burrow. He
Cool.
doesn't- he
Put it
doesn't
on
deserve
Deshaun
that.
Watson then.
Joe Burrow ain't win anything.
Put it on Deshaun Watson then.
I don't know. I don't want to get too close to him. Might touch me. But no,
You're
so,
not his type.
towels are too big. No. So last thing, finishing out the betting year. Do you guys want to know where we finished as a group as a whole?
Hit me with the numbers, baby.
In terms of like over 500,
Oh, we're way over 500.
Yeah, just numbers in general. Like if you had to guess where we finished.
I think we're 9 games above 500.
8, 27, 19, and 2. It
Hell yeah.
was a good year.
That's
Hell
big
yeah.
money.
Dut did a lot of the legwork.
Whoa!
You finished over 500. I was under it, but it had me thinking that would be more fun
I was
and
4 games under at one point.
but just to make it more enticing and like maybe we start the show with it sometimes or just in general because it is fun to bet and I think a lot of people are getting into it. I think we need to pick 4 pillars. So 4 bets that you make every week, every Sunday going into next season. What do you want those 4 to be?
What do you mean 4 bets?
So-
I don't know.
Prop bets, straight, whatever you want it to be, but we come to a conclusion that we do 4 bets.
As a group?
No, each of us.
So we're putting out 12 bets as a pod?
Correct. To really get into the shystiness of it and just like the fun, the degeneracy, because really that's kind of what it's about, where we're not doing, hey,
But do it responsibly.
yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
follow me on this 10-leg parlay, like not that, but it's like, I love this. I love this over. I love this spread.
I would say we got to do a prop, a money line, a spread, and then something else.
Prop, money line, spread.
And an anytime touchdown scorer.
I love it. Yep.
Bingo, bango.
There we go.
Isn't that a prop?
I would say more like
like props
like
to me,
receptions or yards or
Yeah.
something like that kind of a prop.
truly a prop, where it's an over/under on something. Yep, I love it.
I mean, after all, if you did listen to us this year, you made money.
Yeah,
So
100%.
you should be all in on it.
So if you bet $100 every week, you're up $800.
Yep.
Not a bad week.
You don't hate
Not
it.
a bad year. I mean,
Well, no. So how would you be up more money because of the ties? No, because you just get your money back. So
You
you,
just get your money back.
push, you get your money back.
So
And
you'd be up
again,
1,000.
Well, no, most of these bets, if you technically lose, if you bet $100 on the
110.
spread, you're gonna lose 110. So I don't even know what you said.
I
but-
mean,
19.
a lot of ours were underdogs.
yeah, we did give you money. We give you dog.
We gave you a lot of spread. We were taking a lot of points.
Yeah.
And if you were and like you talked, like we said at the beginning of the show,
Yeah.
it's going to be an underdog season.
yeah,
But unless
So
you take the
take the
dogs
points
to win,
and also take the
it's
dogs
still
to
the same
win.
vig.
Yeah.
It's still minus 110.
yeah. But I think it'll be fun to do that just to enhance the experience, so to speak.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for
Let's
that.
get nuts.
that's
Travis Kelce can't score every week.
You can't.
just for it one time. That is FTS or no FTF,
What's that?
Full Throttle Finale.
Full throttle finale.
Or do you have anything?
I just had.
You want to run through the playoffs? What
Well,
do you
just
think's going to win?
a couple quick questions.
Ooh.
Mine has to do with that. So, will the NFC be the underdog in the Super Bowl no matter what?
Yes,
Yes.
100%.
Unless they're playing the Chargers.
So, I never understand the lowest seed goes to play the bye week. The 1 seed's correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
they reseed.
So-
So if there's an upset in wild card weekend,
Yeah.
that team plays the number 1 seed with the bye.
Yeah.
So for me, it's gonna be like I'm looking at it on mine. I'm assuming it's kind of the same. So it's like AFC, NFC, and we'll go from left to right. I do think you have the Chargers upsetting Jacksonville. I mean, it's a 4-5, so you're kind of at even Stevens there.
I'm so bummed out that matchup is in the first freaking
Oh my
round.
God, dude.
I
Yeah.
wanted Baltimore to beat Cincinnati so bad.
So they're gonna go to Kansas City. And then the next one you have Cincy Baltimore, which again is a rinse and repeat of literally week 18. Send Cincy there now. You might as well.
Lamar's not playing again.
He might be. I mean, they keep saying like he might.
No,
and
that
it's like
that
no.
line suggests he is
He's
not
not.
playing.
Yeah.
Buffalo should
That's why you catch it early.
put a shellacking to Miami because I believe Tua's still out.
Yes.
Um,
As they have to keep him out.
so
It's
then
like
you
his
have
fourth concussion in 7 weeks.
What I think we're getting ready to see, which is going to be awesome, is not only is it setting up for Buffalo KC part 3 or part 4,
Watch it.
you're going to see Joe Burrow get in the mix of that every time now and realize that
yeah.
it's a real thing, which is going to be cool. But
No, what the real thing is the AFC is absolutely bananas.
yeah.
Because if you don't
The
think
only team
that
in there is a
Justin
fraud.
Herbert and Trevor
Trevor
Lawrence
Lawrence.
are going to be in that same mix,
Yeah.
you're insane.
Who gets replaced by Baltimore next year? Because I think they are the one. This is their last time of being where they're at.
I don't know, dude. If they signed,
They don't.
you don't think so?
No.
Yeah. So that's why I think it's kind of crazy when you look across the board. Like, granted, Tua's concussion set. You almost shouldn't be in the league anymore. But I would argue those teams right there, like, it's just studs.
Well,
I mean, it should
let's
probably
see who
be
the Jets
team,
get.
It should probably be the team that almost got in. Like
Touche.
Pittsburgh's gonna get better. Those wide receivers are nasty.
They're a fun team, but never like really make a run. Doubt
Well,
it.
I'm saying a 7th seed.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not expecting you to overthrow them, but like
So
gosh, the AFC is gonna be fun.
NFC. The crazy thing is to think that.
The Lions were the 3rd best team.
Well, no. So I think
They're
San
not it.
Francisco just mauls Seattle. They move on. You have the Giants. I think they upset Minnesota because I just think the clock.
I don't think they do it at home. Not in the dome.
I with Daniel Jones and Saquon, it's like kiss it, run it. You're inside. Like just
Daniel Jones and Saquon,
yeah.
but Jay Jetta and Dalvin Cook.
I don't know. I think that's the weirdest matchup of all. The
I think there
games.
will be like 85% of the money will be on the Giants.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
makes-
Everybody's going to see it coming. I think this is one where, as weird as it sounds, Minnesota's been the overrated. I don't know how you're their team all year. I just think they get it done, and I think it's, I don't want to say not close, but I think they're like finally like, yeah, we did. We won, guys. Leave us
Yeah.
the fuck alone.
24-20. Then you
Covers
have
the spread.
Tampa and Dallas. I think Tom does it.
I think he does it.
Yeah, it's
It might be the only time in my life that I'm rooting for Tom Brady.
because I want Dallas, like I said, to just implode, and I think that is going to be the tipping factor.
If it was anybody other than my team I picked to go to the Super Bowl, I'm rooting for Dallas all day long. I'm rooting for Dallas all day long.
Right.
I don't know.
But you're going to Tampa Bay. You're playing on grass. Statistically, they're not good on grass.
And
could get nasty.
So I was trying to think of something clever for the wordplay on my just overall thoughts on the playoffs.
Cooks digs.
I think this playoffs for 2023. The only way I could describe it is it's going to be the red wave. So it's going to be KC, Tampa, and San Francisco. I think a red team is going to just come out holding that trophy. And I love those 3 picks. All of them are plus money. I think Tampa, is obviously the biggest odds, but like I would love to sprinkle something on all 3 of those.
No.
And I think that's where my heart lies, is with any team wearing red.
All right.
Yeah.
If Mike Williams is healthy, the winner.
What are you gonna do, dude? You going against your boy? With your boy?
I know. It's I'm telling you, whoever wins that game is gonna go into Kansas City and win. They are gonna play in the AFC Championship game.
No, because I think KC just dances their way to the championship, and it's gonna be them and Buffalo or them and Cincy. Just writing.
Well, you just took half the AFC.
Well, I get it, but I'm saying like KC's going to be there regardless. Like I don't think anybody's stopping them. They've been having fun all year. I think they are the teams. Do you want to say LeBron like later Cleveland years where?
Well, no, it's playoff time. Let's make our Super Bowl picks.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be KC and is it KC San Francisco rematch?
I think it is. I was on the wrong rematch.
Yeah, like I think it's that. Like, if I had to pick right now,
I'm a Lions fan, and I don't give a shit about the NFC.
it's not fun. Like, I'm looking at it, and it's just, to me, it's all unappealing. Like, all I want is just upsets.
Yeah.
But San Francisco obviously wouldn't be an upset. So, yes, KC San Francisco. Lock it in.
Why not KC Philly? You missing out on them
So
because they're on the bye?
I'm going to make my pick.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have a tiny asterisk.
All right.
Only because I'm going to say San Francisco and the Chargers, but my heart says I want Buffalo to win the Super Bowl.
Okay. For DeMar?
The whole organization, yes.
No, the whole organization.
Yes.
Not just one person.
It's the getting shafted with 13 seconds left last year in Kansas City or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Shafted?
Yeah.
Buddy.
How do you lose that game? 7 seconds, 9 seconds.
Why is it they got shafted and not Patrick Mahomes is fucking amazing?
They didn't get a chance in overtime.
Yeah.
That's why.
I mean,
the rule's bad.
Sparked the whole debate again where it's like.
The rule's bad.
Score.
Yeah, we need to change
I
something.
get it.
Win the coin toss.
Yeah.
But again.
You shave your face because of the Rochambeau? You're saying you got shafted?
Yes. I don't think there would, as crazy as it sounds, I don't think there's many fan bases that if Buffalo won this year, they're going to be upset about it.
No.
Yeah, no.
But no, my San Francisco Chargers would be my Super Bowl pick going into it.
Oh, God. Okay. Dut.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I'll ride with my gut, baby.
Yeah.
TB, Tom Brady,
KC.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yep. It's
there.
It's there in the sense.
Prove me wrong, Cowboys. Prove me wrong.
But it's there in the sense of love him or hate him. Tom he gets it. He figures it out. Like, who knows what's going on in that organization? Maybe he's done, but it's like, I highly doubt any guy is going to be like, well, I want to just lose and then go figure out what I'm going to do after this. It's like, no, I want to fucking win, give you the bird, and then just ride off into the sunset onto another team.
I left my wife.
Yeah.
We're getting a Super Bowl. All right.
I don't have a ring,
I'm going
but
to guess he
getting
didn't
a
try
trophy.
to go like fucking 8-9. They're just not good.
But he's there, and that's all that matters. You punch your ticket.
100%.
Yeah. It's...
Yeah. He gets punched in the face by Mike Parsons.
Yeah, could happen. He's got a club now.
Dallas ain't good. So, smoke and mirrors.
They're pretty good.
Dallas is arguably the biggest smoke and mirror team of the last decade.
No, Minnesota.
Last decade.
Still Minnesota.
No.
Episode 90.
Full Throttle. Finale. FTF.
Finale. FTF.
Shoot it. Kill it.